Have you ever wondered what your purpose is? More specifically, have you ever wondered what it would be like being born already knowing your purpose? Well, it would definitely make things simpler, right? Bring a heap of clarity to every decision that you make, confidence with every stride, self-security aglow. But what if you don't like your purpose? What if your purpose was horrible or just painfully simplistic? What if your sole purpose was just to exist? A head scratcher, ain't it? I knew my purpose. As soon as the awareness of I or me formed, the first thing I heard was my purpose. Subject 3-32237-47. Heart rate stable. Brain activity normal. Reaction to light normal. Vocalizations normal. Project successful. Subject is ready for testing. Giant white hands grabbed at me. The lights were too bright. I couldn't see where these cold claws originated. So I twisted about, squirming, biting, scratching at those large, dead fingers that held my body and lifted me high. Everything was just so loud. The giant's footsteps against the ground made my head hurt. The blinding light racing over my head stabbed at my eyes. And all the time, all these questions just running through my head. Where am I? Where is this thing taking me? Where is my mother? And I cried. Man, how I cried. The giant hands that held me were just too tight, and this new world was just too much. All of it was just too much. Just as my eyes adjusted to the light, the giant entered a dark room. Around that time, I figured out how to use my nose. Bad timing. It was awful. The dark room stank of sweat and dirt, blood and chemicals. Of course, at that time, I didn't know those types of scents. I just knew that it smelled wrong and dead. The darkness blinded me more than the light. I heard a sharp creak like metal scraping metal, and with the flick of its massive wrist, the giant threw me into a small, cold room. The smell of wrongness was more powerful here. The ground against my newborn body was just cold, icy cold. Subject is in its cage. Activate the nursemaid. I smelled something suddenly burning, a sound like crackling lightning and a horrible, raspy groan from behind me. Even now, I can't really describe what it was. All I knew was that it was dead, more dead than the giant before. A rotten hand grasped at me, pressing me against its body that felt bloated yet hollow, with a warmth that was in no way, shape, or form natural. Another hand lifted my head, and something soft entered my mouth, foul liquid gushing into my gullet. I hacked up the mess hard and fought against the monster, but nothing worked. I was too small, too weak, too frail. I could only weep and go limp as that hellish warmth seeped into my body and that odd liquid nourished me. I looked out between the bars of my small room, spying rows upon rows of cubes stacked on top of each other, all having the same little bars mine had, and all of them housing a pair of frightened eyes. Frightened, accusing, hate-filled eyes. Why did those eyes hate me? Subject successfully feeding. Begin purge of non-essential resources. A light appeared, far away from me. Under the light, the giant appeared. My eyes couldn't see properly. I did see that the giant was wearing something large and white, and in one of its white hands, it held a black object. The giant turned to one of the cubes, opened the bars, shoved the black thing near a pair of eyes, and... Sorry. That sound, it always gets me. Sends me up a wall. One by one, the giant moved. A creak of metal, a scream, an explosion, and nothing but the smell of blood. The other pair of eyes faced me, screaming at me. I didn't know what they were saying. I just knew that they hated me. All of this was my fault. 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and all the cubes were silent. All of the eyes lost their light. The giant disappeared. Yeah, I knew when I was born. I knew my purpose. Testing started the next day.